Now we review the film Hitman. That about the guy with the bald head? No, that's The Hitman? So what's Hitman about? Really? Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I am Richard. This is Random Street Theater, and I have seen the Netflix film, yet it is in theaters, Hitman. Before I go any further than that, let me, of course, remind you that for every 1,000 subscribers, I gotta do purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. If you're being so kind as commenting like you'll be doing your part for a better world. Now, Hitman is apparently at least inspired by a true story. Okay, how inspired, I don't know. It's based on a magazine article, and apparently the article was about a real guy. So I'm being told. I don't know how true that is. It really, it's kind of fuzzy there, but it's a highly fictionalized story, so it would be inspired by, from what I understand. But take that, roll it in a ball, and toss it to the side, because that's not what this is about. This is about a piece of art. Now, you have a character who is a psychology teacher who he works for the police department doing some sort of odd light tech work originally, and then the cop, who's a dirty cop, gets suspended for doing something not nice to teenagers. And this guy's like, okay, if we're going to run this sting, you got to get into the rig and go out there and work with this guy. And, lo and behold, it turns out this guy is a really good fake hitman. And this does touch on it's almost like it's a response to John Wick in that, hitmen don't exist. And I don't know how true hitmen don't exist is a thing, but there are people who likely do jobs that include assassination or, killing people. Would you call them hitmen? Probably not, because how many people do you really need killed? It's just one of those questions that comes about. And, this was one of the problems with John Wick, is the economics of being a hitman don't make sense. How would there be this big empire of hitmen if, you didn't constantly need people hit? And even in the John Wick series, there are people who belong to this Assassin's Guild who are essentially bodyguards. And for some reason they have an army. But I'm on a tangent here. So in this film, it's more based on reality. And what the police do is they go out there and they get wind of people trying to hire a hitman. And these fake hitmen go out there apparently, get you to say, yeah, I want to kill so-and-so. Here's the money to do it. And then the police arrest them. Right? Conspiracy to commit murder. This guy becomes the hitman you want to see. The hitman you think is a hitman. So he researches the client and he makes himself into what he believes they're looking for. And he gets them to confess. And, okay, that's where the trailer should have ended. The trailer goes beyond that to start describing the love story and what happens about at the end of the second act of this film. So if you can avoid the trailer to Hitman, definitely do so, because it will ruin the movie for you. So there's that. And, once you get to that point, there's the love story sort of ends and it becomes more of a crime drama in the last act. I would say that the acting is solid for an R-rated film. There should have been the obligatory boob shot. I did see this in the theaters, and there was one dude who couldn't stop laughing. It was a sparsely populated theater, but there was only one dude who couldn't stop laughing. The rest of us didn't laugh once, and I just wanted to leave the entire time. I kept saying, God, end this movie. It's like the main girl there, I like what they did with her makeup. Much of the film, she's really, really hot, and then at the end of the film, she has that moment where she doesn't have the makeup on. It's peeled back to the real her. She's got a few beauty marks. And, I would say she did her part well, but I don't think the part was well written. And it didn't really give the audience what they wanted. There wasn't enough of her And I grant she's not the main character, but she's a big part of this story. And without having her be a big part of this story, it really falls flat. I mean, the main character falls in love with her. Obviously, she's the love interest. And we as an audience need to fall in love with her too, so that in the end, we feel for her. We care about her. And personally, I was kind of rooting for her to get shot. So yeah, I didn't like these characters. And I mean, yeah, okay, people do this. They get in too deep. They get in over their head. And whereas these characters are reasonably well acted and properly put together, there is a certain lacking in this film. So yeah, for me, this is the lower middle of your watch list. It's too slow to be enjoyable, in my opinion. It doesn't have the energy that a film like this needs to have to be a comedy, and it doesn't have the goods to be a horror movie or a thriller. It just stands to be there. But I mean, this could be because I already knew it was happening, and the whole time I'm just going, okay, come on, get to it already. This is so slow. But that's just me. I'd love to hear your opinion down in the comments below. I'm Richard. Halt! You have entered the jurisdiction of Sergeant Duck! And Sergeant Duck says it is your duty to comment, like, and subscribe. That way you will support this channel for more awesome content. This channel will then pull 1 pound of trash out of the ocean for every 1,000 subscribers, help plant trees every year, and do all kinds of good things for you. You deserve it. So, comment, like, and subscribe. Better world for you, better world for me, and I won't issue you a ticket.